Like, I honestly believe that Ironheart is a litmus test for how you view black women. That's all I'm saying. I really do believe that it is a litmus test. I just find it fascinating that these are the comments that people are still making about Ironheart after a year after it came out. Oh yeah, this makes sense. I'm a comment that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If we had an actual Armor Wars TV show with Rhodey as the main character, I don't think people would be talking about this as much. I think a lot of people, a lot of fans of Tony forget that half of the things that Tony did was not in the public eye. Tony wasn't smart because he was a billionaire. He was a billionaire because he was smart. Okay. All right. So I want to discuss Ironheart. Obviously, title and thumbnail, right? It's been a year. It's been a year. And it's been a little over a year actually, because the first episode came out in June. It's July. I didn't think about doing this video until today. I think I have to. I'm going to rewatch it. So this is before I rewatch, right? I'm going to take some time and rewatch it, and I want to talk about it because I think the state of black characters, or at least black American characters, specifically black American characters in superhero media, needs to be dissected. Honestly, like, Ironheart is a great place to start. I said this in a previous live stream on the channel. I was like the chances of you seeing like a black American like mutant is unlikely, right? That's the unfortunate part. That's the unfortunate part. But we can kind of talk about what certain depictions of black Americans in superhero roles outside of that looks like, right? Ironheart is one of them. Wonder Man is another. You also have Sam Wilson. You have Isaiah Bradley. You have these. I think that's the main group. And the sad part is if you look at the Black Panther movies, right? Uh, it's for me, it's unfortunate because in the Black Panther movie, the villain of the main villain of the first Black Panther movie was a black American. He was the villain. He wasn't really wrong in his ideology per se. It's just what how he went about it was very was a certain flavor of 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 a black American, right? And I think discussions like these need to be discussed uh, by us, the Black Americans. We have to talk. We have to talk about this, right? And um, I'm gonna start with Ironheart because number one, Ironheart is probably the most controversial out of all of them because she's really the first Black American woman uh, to get the front screen, like forefront of a TV show movie in the MCU, right? It's really unfortunate because it feels like to me the aftermath of how people were basically review bombing it, basically just completely just shitting on the whole show, shitting on her character, really. Um, just because she just fell outside the norm of what they thought a black American woman should be, yeah, really, to be honest. And I think it's is sad because I saw somebody, and what sparked this video was literally there was a comment on there was a somebody made a video. So this video right here, right? This video right here, this was made a month ago. I don't like that they used it. Like you could have just. Why does it look AI? I don't know. They don't know why they had to do that. But it says 18 million, right? 18 million views. She thinks she could outsmart Tony if she was a billionaire. I don't know where that mentality. I don't know where that mentality came from. That she thought that she could outsmart Tony if she was a billionaire. I don't know where. I don't know. I have to rewatch the show to see if this is true or not, because I want to rewatch it. But I'm kind of doing like an intro. Meanwhile, Tony with 20 bucks. Now, soon as I am able. I'm not sure if the person that made this video even watched the Iron Man. Which one was this? Iron Man 2, I think. Or 3. One, it was 2 or 3. But I think it was 3 though, cuz 2, I think 2 was about Killian Murphy. Not Killian Murphy, sorry. It was about Aldrich Killian. Um I think it was 3. I think it was 3. I think this was Iron Man 3. Um this is not Tony with 20 bucks. He had more than 20 bucks. Most of his money was gone or frozen, but like, let's be real, gang. He's a billionaire. You think he doesn't have a couple million dollars stashed away somewhere? Are we okay? Don't piss me off. Immediately from the jump, this video is trying to make Riri look bad, more or less, right? Or not look as impressive as she is, right? And then we go to the comments. If you're nothing without this suit, you shouldn't have it. Now, that, not sure what that has to do with Riri. But Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps. Sure, he did build the first Iron Man suit in a cave with a box of scraps. But that was a very specific scenario. Nobody else is going to be in a scenario like that because they're not Tony Stark, right? And somebody was like, the kid from Iron Man 3 deserves to be the next Iron Man. That's sure. That's a choice, I guess. Marvel was never the same after Endgame. And like these comments all have this like vibe of like not liking Riri as like an Iron Man-esque character, right? Or Iron Man adjacent character. She's not trying to be Iron Man. She's trying to be herself. But the idea of making an Iron Man suit in general, yes, came from Tony, right? But that's kind of like where the Armor Wars like started. You know what I'm saying? Like if we had an actual Armor Wars TV show with Rhodey as the main character, I don't think people would be talking about this as much, right? But I'm getting ahead of myself. And then this comment right here really got me. I was like, was written by a team of marketing executives, not an actual writer. And then the person that made the video l- hearted the video. They didn't really heart many other ones, but they hearted this one. Huh. Okay. This person said, honestly, if she was more like her comic book counterpart. I'm gonna stop you right there. I thought people hated Riri's comic book counterpart. Was I? Am I? Am I wrong in that assessment that people didn't like Riri's like kind of? I thought Riri's comic book introduction, from what I read and what I've seen, um, was like not good. It was bad. It was actually like badly written. Like I'm confused. Uh, I don't know. I, it's kind of odd that they all immediately like they got this TV show. They have a new version of Ironheart, and then now they want the comic book version of Ironheart. Like what? Actually, idolize Tony's genius. Why would she idolize Tony's genius in a war like this? This is not the comic book universe, right? This is a different universe. Different scenarios happened, right? Like this is one of those things where it's like, why would you put a square peg into a round hole? She has no reason to even care about Tony. Like, not really. There had to be a variant where we got. I think she would have been a little likable. The fact that you don't think she's likable in this TV show, I think, says a lot about what you view, how you view uh, characters. At least this specific person, right? And I just find it fascinating that these are the comments that people are still making about Ironheart after a year after it came out. Tony wasn't smart because he was a billionaire. He was a billionaire because he was smart. Okay. I didn't even get this deep into the comment section because I wanted to save it for the video. What the fuck do you mean? He Tony wasn't smart because he was a billionaire. He was a billionaire because he was smart. Dude, see, like, it's comments like these that makes me really question the intellectual capacity of some people, because it makes me question if these people even watch the shows that they glaze so much. Like it or watch the movies that they glaze so much. Like it's genuinely makes me question. I gotta take the glasses off. I'm taking that. I gotta take them off because, like, what do you mean? Howard Stark, Tony's father, Howard Stark, was already a billionaire, millionaire, billionaire, right? Howard Stark was the one that was literally like, um, he was the one that started this whole thing. He started the company. If anything, you could argue that Howard Stark was the one that became a billionaire because he was smart. But even then, I'd argue that it wasn't really fully because he was smart. Like, but if you really want to give somebody the justification of being a billionaire because they're smart and they know how to make money, it would be Howard over Tony. Can, are we like did we forget to watch? Did we not watch Iron Man 1? Did you not go? Oh my god. So that's like you see, yeah, exactly. Like it's odd to me. It's really odd to me that that's the thing that you want to that you want to that you think makes sense. Like, oh yeah, this makes sense. I'm a commentator. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. If she's in Doomsday, I'm walking out. This is just blatant racism. So whatever. Um, the Iron Man 3 already disproves that belief when he took out a heavily guarded compound and a Hello Kitty watch. You're downplaying the situation that Tony was in. It's crazy because you're trying to glaze Tony, but you're downplaying the situation that Tony was in Iron Man 3. You're not even like, we do not hate her because of her skin color. We hate her for how she disrespected the man that started it all. Here's the thing. In reality, if you're trying to write a realistic character like Riri in the situation that she grew up in, do you think she's going to give two shits about Tony? Let's be real. You think she's going to give a fuck about Tony? You really think she's going to care about Tony as a character? And I think a lot of people forget. I think a lot of people, a lot of fans of Tony forget that half of the things that Tony did was not in the public eye. Actually, all the Avengers, just the Avengers in general. I genuinely believe that the Avengers overall, a lot of the work that they did to stop villains was not like like less than 50% of their escapades was seen in public by the public, by the citizens of whatever city or country they were in. Very few times were they ever in public, like to be seen doing stuff in public. And on top of that, 9 times out of 10, those situations where they were in public, it's actually like complicated. They don't just blindly like these superheroes all the time, because Sokovia, the Sokovia Accords, the whole reason of Civil War was because the people of Sokovia, that city got destroyed, right? Destroyed. They was not happy. That country, the country's government was not happy, right? And the American government did not want to lose allies over some vigilante work of some superheroes, right? Even though the superheroes had every humanitarian right to be over there and help out, the backlash from the fact that they did not take the extra work to make sure that they wasn't destroying landscapes, they wasn't destroying houses, buildings. They weren't thinking about all that. They weren't. They just weren't. They were still inexperienced, right? And because of that, like, I'm sorry, but I genuinely do not believe that normal people, normal everyday people, because Riri was just an everyday, she's pretty much a common black Chicagoan, like a normal Chicagoan. She's smart, but like in terms of like the MCU, she's just she's just Riri that wanted that, saying that went to MIT, bro. Like like I like and then she kind of fell into this superhero role more or less because of Black Panther 2, right? So like I don't know. I'm just confused as to like how people are forgetting this. Like she's not, I don't think she would care about Tony. You write, if they were to write her as like somebody who was a big fan of Tony, that would be number one, that would be culturally insensitive as a black American lady to like look up to uh, a white technocrat, pretty much, if we're being honest, right? It'd just be kind of odd. It would just be, it's just an odd thing to do for Riri, uh, which is why the comic books didn't work so well because it wasn't genuine. Um, but just a reminder, she is okay. Let's move on. Just a reminder, she is someone who had everything she wanted for paid for, got all the help possible. Not true. Wasn't even the only one working on the suit, and then claimed Tony had it easier because he was rich. Are we like, are we being purposefully dumb, or like what's happening? This was 4 days ago. This person commented this 4 days ago. Are we being purposefully obtuse? Are you just, you're not even thinking about the nuances at all? You don't even care about the nuances of the situation that Riri was in at all. Like none of the, you just they don't see it. They don't see it. And this is the thing that needs to be discussed when it comes to Black American characters in superhero media, because you cannot separate the Black American character from the Black American history in America. Okay? Can't separate that out. Because when you do separate it out, you're just being disingenuous, and you're completely missing the cultural history of what these characters mean and what these characters historically and culturally have experienced in their lives. This person is saying she's someone who had everything she wanted paid for. Not true. Obviously not true. It's just not. If you watch Black Panther 2 and you watch Ironheart, she says multiple times, and I'm gonna rewatch the show to kind of reiterate this. I'm pretty sure she said multiple times that she had to grind and basically help other more economically advantaged students, right, in school to pay for stuff that she needed to pay for, like the Iron Man suit, the Ironheart suit, right? They didn't just give her money. That's not what happened. I mean, she got scholarships and stuff, right? They was giving her money for that, but like she still had to work. She still had to find ways to make more money so she can keep making the suit. So like if you're just going to ignore that, then you're ignoring the whole point of the show. You're ignoring the extra part that she had to basically like help students get better grades so they could pay her so she could make the suit, right? She was not given everything. She wasn't. She just pure. It's plain and simple. She was not given everything to make this suit. They helped her make the suit because there was a lab, right? Like there was a lab she can make the suit in, and there was people that was helping her make the suit because it was a science project, and that Iron Man was popular, and and this would have been, like I said before earlier, if the Armor Wars would have been a show that would have been made to production and came out, I genuinely believe the Armor Wars with Rhodey would have been an easier it would have made it easier for people to see the outcome of Tony being as good as he is at making suits, at making iron suits, right? Because he was so good at making iron suits, there's going to be people across the world who are seeing him do this and want to copy it. In the first Iron Man movie, we see video evidence, proof of the government being one of the first people to try to copy Iron Man's Iron Suit uh ideas. Bad. It was bad. A guy had his spine broken because they didn't know how to make the suit correctly. You see it in the movie. So if the government was doing it, why aren't you thinking ahead and thinking maybe there's other people who have a lot of money also want to do the same thing, and then eventually those people are going to start showing their inventions and stuff, and next thing you know, armor wars is happening, and then from armor wars the public starts to know about the iron suits, and then you get Riri who gets inspired, right? And then she's like, oh yeah, you know what, I'm gonna make a suit too. Screw it, everybody's making a suit, I'll make one too. Right? That's a natural conclusion from Tony to Riri, but they completely skipped over Armor Wars because they didn't make the show. They just didn't make the show. So it it's unfortunate, and I think uh it also says got all the help possible. She didn't. She didn't get all the help possible. Um, because she wouldn't be in a situation if that was the case. Wasn't even the only one working on the suit, and then claimed Tony had it easier because he was rich. Oh my god. Oh my god. Tony had it easier. He did have it easier because he was rich. Now, if you're trying to compare like firsts to firsts, if you're saying like actually like it doesn't even make sense for if you're trying to compare like Iron Man's first suit versus Ironheart's first suit, because Iron Man's first suit was in a cave with a box of scraps. Actually, it wasn't a box of scraps. It was his box of scraps because they took Stark Industries weapons. That's the whole point of the first movie. Tony had to reconcile with the fact that his weapons were being used against him. Right? All of that stuff that was in that room were scraps from wars that were being waged upon neighboring countries from this terrorist organization, right? Because they were using a lot of it was Stark Industry weapons. They was repurposing it and doing tinkering with it and stuff. It was basically his scraps. He had to use his own scraps to get out of that situation. So, no, actually, right? It wasn't just a random box of scraps. It, it was it was Tony's weapons scraps. Not all of it, but it was a majority of it, right? They were using his weapons. That's the point. That's the whole point of the movie. Oh my god. Like it's sad. It's sad. It's really sad. These people actually believe this, bro. Hold on. Ironheart Ironheart would be likable if she saw Tony as an inspiration instead of complaining about him. She wasn't. She wasn't. She wasn't complaining about him. But she wasn't complaining about him though. She was just saying like, I gotta watch the show again. I don't think she was complaining about him at all. I don't think she was complaining about it. She was just saying the fact of the matter is that he had more money. He had more resources. It was that simple. She has to she economically, Tony Stark and Riri Williams are in two different realities completely. Like what? Can Disney stop writing teen protagonists? They clearly don't know how to make them likable. I mean, she was 19, but like saying that they're not likable is kind of odd. You can take away my house, all my tricks and toys. Iron Man, cool. Um, I love when the modern writers completely ignore the point of the original character. Their new character are inspired by, piggybacking off of. Right. Okay. Uh, right. Okay. She wasn't really. She was in the suit was inspired by Iron Man, but I don't think the character. I don't think Iron Man himself was the inspiration. Like you can be inspired by something that you can be. For example, somebody can be inspired by Elon Musk and what Elon Musk has done. They can be inspired by the fact that he has a right electric car company. Uh, they can be inspired by that fact that he started an electric car company. Cool, but at the same time, they can also critique Elon Musk for the amount of bullshit that he does, politically, economically, whatever. Right? You can still discuss that. Two things can be true at once. I can be inspired by the fact that he has an electric car company. That's cool. Maybe if I'm smart enough and I have the resources, I want to start my own electric car company because I saw Elon do it. Cool. But that doesn't mean that I have to endorse what he everything he does. Doesn't mean I support everything he does. I don't support him at all as a person. He's a horrible person. He sucks. The guy genuinely sucks. But he started an electric car company, and and honestly, that's more or less a noble thing to do right now, because oil and gas is fickle and is really not trustworthy, not anymore. But the point is that it's the same idea with Tony Stark. Tony Stark started a giant company. He's a billionaire, right? The things that he did with that company can be inspiring to people. But Riri is smart enough to also understand that maybe Tony just wasn't that good of a guy. Like, like what? Hello? like I'm confused. And they're genuinely will never understand why they wrote her like this. Like what? Like what? I want to get into these replies, but like, let me do like the basic stuff. Marvel told us fans that we are the issue, that we're the issue, and the show isn't, and that we're just haters. It blows my mind genuinely. I mean, the specific types of fans are the issue. Mainly the white American, um, white supremacist fans. Yeah, y'all are really are the issue. Y'all are the problem because you're not open minded at all. Holy shit, dude! like y'all are so used to seeing white characters on screen that you can't even imagine having a different type of writing or a different type of character being portrayed in a different type of light or a different type of way. Your savior, artist Tony Stark, is somehow all of a sudden now he's flawed. He's always been flawed. He's never been a perfect character. That's kind of the point of Tony. He's not a perfect character. And if they write him as if he's a perfect character, that is not Tony Stark. I'm sorry, it's not Tony Stark. Even in the MCU, Tony himself understands he's not a perfect character. That's why he did what he did in half of the movies he was in. Right? Tony literally created a whole entire new element. What does that have to do with anything? Yeah, cool. He's a genius. I mean, it's not to take away from him. He is a genius, but I'm not sure what that means. Why would that need to be here? She came off bitter and resentful in the show. She was going through a lot. She was not happy. It is what it is. The best qualities about every superhero. As soon as a black woman is seen as is written as a complex character, where she's not like Riri isn't somebody that wanted to directly be a hero per se. She had to learn that she had to trust herself to be the hero that she needed to be. Try to find a word. Right? She had to trust herself to trust people. That's why she got in half the situation that she got in, because she didn't trust people. She didn't trust other people to do things for her. So she did it herself. But that causes issues because she was trying to do everything herself. She was trying to fix all her problems on her own, right? And that's something that I honestly don't think, um if you're not if you're not a black American, you just won't get it. You just won't get it. You won't get it because that's not your culture, right? It is it's sad because like there's so many other characters in the MCU that start off bitter and resentful. Uh, Bucky, Bucky Barnes was bitter and resentful in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? And it's crazy to me because what for me what this really says is like, I'll get into Sam Wilson in a different episode, but like Sam was the like as the main character of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? Like he wasn't a bitter and resentful character. He was a optimistic character, right? And the problem is that a lot of fans aren't used to seeing black main characters that aren't optimistic or aren't, um, more or less like trying to have the moral high ground, right? Because that's kind of the safe option for a black character, for a black main character, right? Especially when it comes to superheroes, like it, realistically, they wouldn't be like that. Which is why we probably haven't seen a Blue Marvel. We haven't seen Blue Marvel in the show in the MCU yet, because Blue Marvel is one of those characters where he's gonna be similar to Riri in terms of demeanor, where he's gonna be like bitter, resentful, not happy. He doesn't fuck with white people. That's a historical thing, right? Like he doesn't fuck with like, and you can't really like beat the guy because he's OP as fuck. It's kind of the point, right? But he's still a hero and he wants to save people. He wants to help people. He wants to give people a better tomorrow. But he's also like that's why like, characters like Luke Cage is interesting. Luke Cage is more or less bitter and resentful. People don't shit on him, but when a black woman shows even a little bit of negativity, all of a sudden it's an issue. Like a black main character, mind you. I should say that, right? Because if she's like a black side character, it wouldn't be as, they wouldn't care as much, right? She had training from Wakanda and basically the full support of her university. Not true. While building the suit, she made no results even when there's reference materials already existing for her. Also untrue. She made a lot of results. Like the suit is in front of you. Obviously, it's a result. Her university stopped funding her because no results were made. They wouldn't keep dumping money on nothing. That's not what it. That's not. I mean, that's partially why, but like, that's not the full reason why. If you want to really go fully woke, if you want to get fully woke about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, they wouldn't have kicked out Tony if Tony was in her situation. If it was Tony Stark in her situation, and Tony Stark was like not being great, or he was not being like he was not really abiding by the university's rules or whatever, like they wouldn't have kicked him out. I don't think they would have kicked him out, or they would have extended, or they would have found a way to kind of like he would have found a way to make to still use the same resources that he was already using. I'm just saying, that's just history. Well, Tony did use Stark stick straps. Thank you for saying that. He did only in one. He did it only in one try while on watch with counted time. What? She built the suit. The suit is built. The suit is built in the video. The suit is built. It's not on nothing. The suit was built. It's just that, like, because, like I said, because they did not fully go through with the Armor Wars show or miniseries or whatever, like, we don't get much of this explained. So people are like kind of jumping to conclusions here, right? Tony, he's a builder. He doesn't adapt to fit his situation. He adapts his situation to fit him because he has the money and resources to do so. Like, quite literally. Um, like I'm not sure with that. Biggest rage bait Marvel produced along with She-Hulk. So you just hate women. I mean, this is just what this says. Honestly, like genuinely, it just feels like you're saying this because you just don't like women. Now, don't get me started. Don't get me wrong. She-Hulk, in terms of quality, in my opinion, you know what? I need to rewatch She-Hulk anyway. I haven't watched She-Hulk in a while. I watched it when it first came out, and then I didn't go back. I don't know. Thinking about She-Hulk, I don't know how bad She-Hulk really is, because I just at first I was like, I'm not sure of the of where the writer was going with this, and also like when the writer of She-Hulk talked about how she didn't really care about the She-Hulk character as much, that really ticked me off. That was dumb. That was a dumb thing to say. And that really ticked me off of the show. I was like, no, okay, so she's not even trying. But I will give the show another watch. This proves it. The writers and the corpos are so detached from reality. This is what they view a hero is. Jesus. It's like it's like his name is Trollmaster. Never mind, bro. Never mind. Catman gay sleeper cell boyfriend. What? What the fuck is this comment? What the Right, like what? Who are you talking about? He does not like Captain America. That's crazy. Okay, this one I want to see the comments of right here. Honestly, I feel that Ironheart is made by a group of Nepo babies who believe this is how other diverse people act. It was written by a black woman. Number one. Uh, are these people like deluding themselves into believing that this is a nepo baby project? A lot of people don't understand this and accuse different demographics for it. It gives a negative view on said demographics, which then turns to either racism or how people view it. I mean, the underlying truth is that it is racism. Like that's the underlying truth. Like you won't admit it because racism has been turned into a like a undercurrent of just how people talk nowadays. But like it's still there. It feels really disingenuous. I had to give it a watch. You didn't even watch it. But I bet either it doesn't tackle issues of prejudice or race in any meaningful way at all. I mean, from what I remember, it kind of tries to not do that too much. Uh, but I mean, they could have. I mean, honestly, they could have doubled down into it more, as writing wise. But you know, the entire show has nothing to do with race. That's a lie. That's not true. It's a black woman on the cover of the show. It has everything to do with race. By the fact she immediately turns to crime instead of being smart and selling her inventions. She didn't immediately turn to crime. She was being smart and selling her inventions. She did that in school. She did that at MIT. What are we talking about? Doesn't really tackle any racial issues. The main character just constantly mentions how bad they got it and how amazing her armor is. I mean, I guess. Imagine how great it would be if she was rich like Tony. Oh yeah, yeah. I guess she mentioned that before. The problem is she magically invents a wind and solar generator. How's that magically? How's that magically? It's not magically. That's but people do that in real life. What the fuck are we talking about? Where he gets to hover while also recharging his batteries. She's a genius. Obviously, she figured out how to fucking do it. What are we talking about? Any of these three things could be patented and make her into a billionaire. But she's a smart black woman, so she knows that that's not really going to happen for her. Also, if we're going with the idea that like she could have sold her stuff and made it into a billionaire, she also is not happy about her situation. So she's not really going to be like thinking about the positives of selling her inventions at the time. Like she's going to be like thinking about like the negative connotations of it. And she's a black woman. So she's thinking like she's probably not even going to own what she sells anymore. She sold it. She's not going to own it. She's going to have money, but she's not going to own the suit. She's not going to own her own company like Tony did because she's a black woman. They're going to take it from her. That's the point. That's the underlying point that she can't say directly, but she said it, but she's kind of alluding to it toward in the whole show, which is why she turned to crime more or less to get what she needed to get to make her suit. But all she cares about is making better armor than Stark. I don't know about better armor. She just wanted to make the armor. She can get more famous than him and start doing crime to fund her suit. Yeah, I mean, but like I feel like that's not a bad thing to do directly. Like she wasn't like going out there and killing people. That's not what she was stealing from millionaires already. She was stealing from people with money already. That's kind of that's the only crime she was agreed to do was steal from other rich people. Like is that such a bad thing? They're already rich. Why do they care? And so is the actress. That you don't. The actress is not. The actress is not a teenager. The actress was what 20 something, 30 something. She wasn't a teenager. She just had a young face. Black don't crack, baby. Um, Nobody liked the character in the comics, and the hack writer, of course, could not make it work. Failed to cancel this. Failed to cancel it. See, this is just right. How is not? If you don't, just because you don't enjoy what the show is giving you, doesn't mean it's bad writing. Like equating it to bad writing is like your opinion of a show does not make the show have good writing. Like what? Plus, you assume they're replacing Iron Man. They're not. This is crazy. I'm going through these comments. Is like these are potentially people who are allegedly they're people. I don't know. Some of them could be AI. So people that are terrible at marketing. Why are the marketers and kill them? Right. Good stories make money. Wow, surprising. Let's cut the Marxist bullshit. What the? Where the Marxist? What? Why did Marx get it straight? What the? Out of nowhere, Karl Marx just gets he just a random shot at Marx for some reason. I guess they should have made her a fangirl of Tony. I'm not saying any. I don't even have to say anything, bro. Bro, this is an hour long of me sitting here, like talking about this, bro. Somehow this always just gets stretched out. I gotta edit this down. I don't want to edit it. Fuck. But I gotta talk about this. I have to. I have to. This could have led to some really cool interaction between her and Peter, where they both just fangirl over Tony. What? What? No, bro. No, man. No. Like they could have did like the team up, the Riri and Spider-Man team up thing could still happen. It's just that they're both. I think it's gonna happen. I feel like if it does happen, they're both gonna be like more or less like disenfranchised um with the icon of Tony Stark. Um, he's a complicated character, but he did sacrifice himself to save the universe. So we can't. But Riri doesn't know him. Riri doesn't know Tony like at all. Like I genuinely believe like Iron Man fans are wild. Like they are so obsessed with Tony, bro. What the yo? Like what are we doing? It's actually insane to me that like like they actually want Tony to have like they want the writers to treat Tony as if he's some savior of the MCU universe. No. He's complicated. He's a very complicated character, but that's what makes him interesting as a character. He's not perfect. They want him like what? Someone criticizes the perfect narcissist Tony and everyone goes wild. Right. Like guys, right, y'all are just worshiping Tony, bro. What the hell are we talking about? He's not really a fangirl in a comic she liked that Tony did, but Tony did with his money. But she wanted to believe money was the reason he was able to do anything he did. Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. This is these comments. This is just fascinating to see these people talk about this. Like because quote unquote black queen to bend the knee for the quote unquote white man. Where are we coming to, bro? What is this? What is this reality, bro? You're gross with that wording. I'm dead. I think it's because they wanted to give the whole woman doesn't need men type deal, instead of just saying, oh, there are different women out there who might actually have male mentors. Like, now, I can't fully say that they're fully wrong here in this comment right here. All right. Because there are a lot of women in real life who have male mentors or male role models. Um, but like, in terms of representation in media, especially when it comes to Black American women in media, um, we just need representation of like a Black woman being successful right now, and just figuring it out, and just figuring out how to do it in a way that doesn't require them to have to uh bend the knee to like the white establishment. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's more important for people to see than not, right? Like, I honestly believe that Ironheart is a litmus test for how you view Black women. That's all I'm saying. I really do believe that it is a litmus test for how you view Black women as an individual. It has to be, right? Like, there's it's just crazy to me. Like, you can't see the nuances of Black women, so you want them to fit into a box that they've already been in before. Like, this person, like, I feel like they were just trying to buy into woke audiences with this character. The fact you're using the word woke is like, here's the thing. It makes me like, you're not like, you're saying like the word woke, but like, just say what you want to say. They wanted to cash in to the Black audience. They wanted to figure out a way to get the Black audience to watch their stuff, because it wasn't happening with white characters, obviously. They say woke audiences to avoid saying like the Black audience, the Black people who want to see ourselves on screen, especially Black women. I don't know, man. This is crazy. Anyway, this is where it started for me, with looking at these comments, and I'm just like, I like the nuance of characters like Riri. Honestly, makes me like Riri even more, because if people still do not understand the nuances of what it means for Riri to exist in the way that she exists in this show, like, you know, it's fascinating to me. Like, as a Black American character on screen, a superhero on screen, like, there's this immediate conversation about like them having to fit in a certain role. Like, they have to have some connection to some white superhero version of some white American, or not even American, but just some non-black superhero inspiration to get them into the world of superheroing or whatever. And it's like, why does that have to be the why does that have to be the first thing that they do? I don't know, man. This is it's wild. Honestly, it's wild. It's wild. So I'm gonna go rewatch the show, and after the episode, I'm going to talk about it. Episode 1. Oh, sorry I'm late. One of my clients had a major mental breakdown. It's cool, man. You didn't miss much. He's still just existing right now. Damn, for real?